and welcome to another episode of Literary Gladiators, the show where we discuss and debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game.
Like the Olympics that are happening right now that I don't give a darn about.
Well, we're filming, but they'll be over by tomorrow.
Yeah. Really, I enjoy.
Swimming's nice, too.
Team.
Let's meet the panel.
Hi, I'm Larry.
I'm Breanna.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Josh.
I'm also starving.
And Katie Ledecky is a brilliant swimmer.
Indeed.
Yeah, oh, really. They're all
Where's she
great.
from?
She
USA.
is, yeah, she's a U.S. Swimmer. And
This is a guy who can't play
She's-
golf anymore.
when Michael Phelps retires, she's going to be the remarkable go-to swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to be talking about literature today,
Yay!
as much as I'm probably going to be getting into swimming, or watching swimming. But today's work is a philosophical work.
Before we go anywhere, I finally got my boat in the water. I have a boat. It's a small boat. It's about that big, that wide, and it goes squeak squeak when I play with it in the pool.
Okay.
I had to just do it.
We're going over Micromegas by Voltaire.
Ooh.
You may know Voltaire for his short novel Candide, but Micromegas is a shorter work, and it is an interesting gateway into getting into what he has to say.
Bless you.
The question at hand is this.
Which hand?
That one.
Oh, okay.
What kind of view is taken of our planet through this short story?
We are small. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yes.
We're small, and I mean, compared to what's out there in the cosmos, it's. I think Saturn alone, we all know it can float on water. Yeah,
We
right.
are small, but
Yeah.
on the other hand, it also comes. I think a lot of it has to do with the concentration that needs to be placed on Micromegas from Sirius
Yes.
and his
And that's the largest,
assistant,
yeah.
his secretary, who is deemed a dwarf
Yeah.
from Saturn.
Yeah.
And both of them are gigantic.
Exactly.
There's Micromegas is 24,000 royal feet.
And I'm not too good with math.
That's 23 miles, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm not good at math at all, so I'm just saying
23
we're
miles.
small.
And the way that there are 72 senses on the planet of Saturn, almost 1,000 on Sirius.
This is making no sense to me.
They
to be
are
honest.
huge, but yet they still feel small and dissatisfied.
Oh, okay. And micro and megas. Take those two words. Excuse me. Take those two words. Micro is small because the microscope, and megas for me is huge, big. My gut. Just kidding. I lost actually.
Then pull
but
them
still.
apart. You
Yeah.
have Megas, which is they are large in
Right.
size and in
Exactly.
life, but the micro is the fact that they're small in their understanding.
Exactly.
They come to Earth and they see this puny-looking planet where the ocean's like a pond and
Yeah.
the sea is like a puddle, and a whale can fit on the. He has to use his pinky
Yeah, I think
to
it's the
maneuver
fingernail.
it onto the fingernail.
And we're talking a whale here, folks. Not this one here, but like I
The
said,
blue whale is the hugest species
Yes.
of animal on our planet, bar none. Even bigger than an elephant.
I love elephants.
But
I love elephants.
But they can't even see it without a microscope. Or they can't look
Oh,
at
yeah,
it too.
crystal. Diamond.
yeah, they use a crystal diamond as a microscope. And and then they communicate with the Earthlings.
Which is
Yes.
which I found that to be I thought that was comedic. And
It's a lighthearted work. It doesn't
Oh, yeah.
seem to be very serious.
That's
of course.
Voltaire was known for the satirical theories, and I think that it is just as much about the Sirians and the Saturnians as it is about us, because we see microscopic beings or even insects, and we think.
Exactly.
And
that's how they're seeing us.
That's exactly how they're seeing us.
And they just said, oh, like this planet is devoid of life. They obviously can't speak, and it's just once they actually looked, it's like actually.
They didn't even think there were beings on the planet.
They even talk to you about like philosophy.
And in my notes here, the universe is always ever expanding. We all know that, but this is something I came up with. Thankfully, I wasn't driving, but like, oh my god, I have a great thought here. We are smaller than we think, and in this short story, sailors and priests alike. Back way, this is obviously dated, but still, back in the very old days, sailors were known to be, and other things, shall we say, and then you have the priests who were representing the complete opposite, and they're on the ship, and there's the chaplain who is, it's a priest who is, I don't know how to explain what a chaplain is, but and then you have the sailors, and the priest, or in this case the chaplain, he's praying, and the sailors are cussing, swearing, they're throwing out the casks of wine, which are like that big, but we are smaller than we already think. You look up and you say, "Wow, we were small." Well, we are,
and insignificant.
Well, I want to. The only reason, I'm gonna disagree, and I'm on the fence with that.
I'm not saying it's necessarily true. I'm just saying I think
No,
that's what
yeah.
Voltaire is. Is trying to make us see ourselves that way.
Oh, well, okay, but the reason I said I have to disagree is yes, but the insignificant. What do you mean by that?
I mean,
I'm just curious.
Well, okay, he's talking about like the struggles of man, right, and the
Yes.
wars and everything, and
Oh,
how
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a puddle of earth, and then meanwhile to this mega micro guy. It's
Yeah.
like it's just like
Okay, all right. So what are you fighting for?
right. It's nothing. It's
Okay, so
some small little nothing.
The reason I was on the fence about that is because a lot of these are people are philosophers, and that's hard stuff. You got to hit the books for a long time to study philosophy, and then just find and then in some cases it's just a simple sentence.
Speaking of the philosophical elements,
So yeah.
what were your thoughts about the very last part?
Oh, I was actually just going to bring that up.
Mm.
I kind of think that they're saying that they can't tell us. I don't know.
That's exactly the point. That's exactly where I'm going with it. Is the idea that you can't really make a judgment on something that you really don't know too much about.
Yeah.
And in this case, there really isn't much that can be said about something, the world around them, or the universe around them in this case.
Right.
It was strange too because they asked like, can you explain your soul? And they had different philosophies, like the different people, but the two of them kind of like why would you think that? Or like that's really weird to think. Like I feel like they kind of didn't understand like the people on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then the last one who quoted Locke, and it was very simple, I think. And then the two, the two giants were looking at each other like, man, he's got his head on screwed on right. That's how I took it.
Alrighty.
But yeah, great read. Personally, I think it's a great read.
Okay.
Yeah, at first I was a little bit annoyed by like all these numbers all the time in the beginning.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm no math major.
It was just like I get it, they're big, but but then listening to you guys talk about it really does help the scale and the idea of the cosmos and the vastness of the universe, giving us these larger numbers and repeating them and going through these different distances and hundreds of years and playing with time in that way. I think really opens us up to the eternity of the universe, right? The great stretches of millions of light years and millions of epochs and eons or whatever you want to say that have gone by since the beginning, if there was a beginning, and that's like unbelievable to me, and then it also helps to make the point about how our little trifles on Earth are just that, they're not.
I feel the numbers are necessary, even if it's just in by means of mockery. It's just means of creating such 24,000 royal feet. Wow, nearly 1,000 senses. How can a planet have so many? That's what we would be thinking. They think those are too few.
Yeah.
It's just the idea of perception. It's how we.
There's big and then there's small, and apparently we're on the small end of the stick here.
The way that we think is just
stick.
And technically, we have 6 senses and not 5.
What is the sixth sense? I know.
Umami. Umami.
What's that?
It's that it's something that's often used in. I don't think it's just cookery. It's just that
Is it that that inner feeling you have?
Inner feeling,
yeah.
Yeah.
Inner sense.
I should not do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then
And then there's the obvious seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling.
It's called umami.
Umami.
And actually, there were times I've said to myself, I shouldn't do this. I'm not going to go explore that abandoned hospital. And then the next thing, I've never done that before, but then I would say to myself, is it worth it? And I'm into the paranormal and all that good stuff, but I don't want to risk getting caught.
Do we have any final thoughts?
Interesting. Maybe a little dated.
I wonder who. You know what? I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, but I think there's a few people who should read this that I'm not going to mention names here.
I feel like this could even be a children's story.
It could be.
Really.
They could make it into a children's story.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 2 people I want to have this. Who should read this? And does anyone know I'm going with this? I don't want to say anything without getting in trouble.
Let's not alienate
Yeah,
anybody.
but no. And still, obviously,
Already.
it was a great read. And
Let's-
of course, still.
Let's talk about the collection where I got this.
Oh,
It's
it's
from
beautiful.
Great French Stories, edited by Paul Negri.
Do they have French toast and French fries?
I don't know. There really isn't anything
I'm
in
kidding.
here about
I don't
French
know.
toast or French fries.
I'm
But
not
this
French
collection, beautiful cover. But
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed not just Micromegas. I enjoyed The Attack on the Mill by Emile Zola. I enjoy. There's one that.
I want to read that.
Medio Falcone actually has
The Pope's Mule.
the names of they refer to the people the people they take on the role of the police the caporales that were involved during that period of time. It's a whole ancestry thing because last names would refer to a profession or something of that nature. For instance, if your last name is Smith, your family was usually blacksmiths. If your last name was Taylor,
You were a tailor.
yeah, you were a tailor. But alrighty then, be sure to join us next time for another episode of Gladiators. For now, keep reading.